The patients completely recovered from the conjunctivitis after being treated for about 1 to 3 days. The news quickly spread throughout Nanning. This therapy then became a major way to treat this disease.
It is 通过药力渗透到穴位里面去起作用，还有通过月亮来刺激这个穴位来起作用，相当于洗眼相当于用西医的办法来洗眼一样，点一次后，它大量的分泌物排掉了。
Doctors think that the moxibustion can stimulate the peripheral nerves in the human eye and facilitate secretion in the lacrimal gland. The lysozyme containing tears can help diminish inflammation. The successful treatment encouraged Dr. Huang and his co-workers, but at the same time, others still doubted the effectiveness of this treatment.
质疑的人还比较多，这他讲你就药线虽然是用药水泡过了，但是你点着后，那药挥发掉了，你再点在病人身上，应该是没有效的。
These doubts sound reasonable. When the medicated thread burns, the drug in it should have evaporated. So how can it still have medical effects?
We 们就开启了一项实验研究，开展了专业药线研究，治疗脾虚症的作用规律和疗效原理的研究。
Researchers facilitated spleen deficiency symptoms by feeding laxatives to the white mice and made the rats continuously exercise. Could the medicated thread moxibustion help the rats regain their health?
Coming up next in Nature and Science. Experiments show that moxibustion on its own doesn't always work. Nature and Science will be back after a short break. Stay tuned.
Visit
One of them is the bamboo canister therapy. Black canisters are fished out from boiling black liquid one after another. The canisters are attached to the patient back and the liquid is absorbed by the patient.
利用广西特产的一种竹子把它加工成为罐，罐以后呢，就拿药水来煮到一定程度后，就把这罐拿出来晒干，趁热就盖在穴位上。
Bamboo comes from the Baise area of Guangxi. Due to its unique toughness, it won't crack when it's boiled in hot liquid. It can also absorb a large amount of medicine. This can ensure that medicine and Buddhista can penetrate into the patient's skin.
这种疗法是流传在民间很久了，它主要是用来治疗风湿性关节炎。
Our Chinese ancestors looked for therapies from their environment. They used simple apparatus and natural drugs to treat diseases. The successful treatment of epidemic conjunctivitis has made the medicated thread moxibustion famous. In 1992, the animal experiment on this therapy finally had a breakthrough.
这样 用这个动物实验来证实我这个药性碘灸，通过药碘灸是可以改变小白鼠一些体内的指标的，所以这个疗效是说明是确切的不是凭空的。
The mice that had been constantly treated with the medicated thread moxibustion had markedly better physical fitness than the other control group. This experiment had really proved the effectiveness of this therapy and also helped people learn more about the way it works. At Dr. Huang's clinic, an old man, Uncle Jiang, attracted our attention.
宝宝，你是来看病？
我说这里生东西啊，皮肤生东西啊，那边好痛的。
疼痛是吧？
疼痛，痛得很厉害，痛得睡不了觉，吃不了饭。
What disease did the old man suffer from? And how would Dr. Huang treat it? Our reporters followed the old man to the doctor's office.
哪里不舒服啊？
我说这个地方生东西啊。
生东西了你这个是带状疱疹吗？
带状疱疹。它这个外面起的这个泡啊，它是痛的里面，原来里面痛。但是里面呢又没有什么问题，但是里面就是痛得不得了。
痛得不得了。再先点一下。
The question is, can the medicated thread moxibustion cure zoster's herpes?
在病症点，我们讲是那个讲子穴、葵花穴、莲花穴。
宝宝现在点完疼还是烧吗？还是火的那个还燃烧了呢？疼不疼？
我接触的时候有点疼，但是点了以后就很舒服。
点完了就很舒服。
Can the medicated thread moxibustion completely eliminate Uncle Jiang's pain? Dr. Huang said that for such a disease, this therapy alone is not enough.
不能完全止痛，只能减轻，不能根除它的疼痛。大概有50%的病人不能根除它的疼痛，当然来找我治疗能减轻，但是不根除，所以我就想了很。
6 years ago, Uncle Han came to Dr. Huang's suffering from a great deal of pain, hoping that the doctor used the traditional therapy to cure his disease.
开始是这个头啊，左边这个地方有白泡疮一样，开头没有多少厉害，到后来就不得了。
10 years ago, herpes zoster appeared on this old man's head. After some anti-inflammatory medicine was applied to his head, the herpes zoster quickly ebbed. But soon, the old man was suffering from a piercing pain in his head.
这大脑神经啊，痛到你啊，拉骨里都基本不得，睡不得。
带状疱疹它是神经性的一种皮肤病，这个一出来就水泡，它的特点就是会神经痛嘛。
This pain has tormented Han for 6 years. In order to find a cure for it, Dr. Huang carried out a 2-month-long treatment for Han and several other patients with the same pain. 6 acupoints, such as the sunflower and spring points, control neuralgia. He and his co-workers decided to start from these points.
一个是药性碘灸，一个是外洗，一个是内服中药，但是这3个方法解决不了，有很多解决不了。
For 2 successive weeks, medicated thread moxibustion was used to treat the pain, but it can only temporarily suppress the pain. A week later, the pain recurred. The doctors were puzzled. The animal experiments have clearly demonstrated the efficacy of this therapy. But why did it fail to work on human beings?
它只是一种救法它有很多也做不到的地方，原因就是它那个刺激量刺激的量可能不够几十下表面能刺激，在这种情况下我就花很大的力量去进行针治疗法的研究。
Acupuncture is also widely spread among the Zhuang people. We saw this therapy at a clinic in the Guangxi Traditional Chinese Medical College. A thin copper needle is gently pricked into the patient's skin and then slowly twisted. Later, a white fiber is slowly pulled out. This is the key to acupuncture.
用这个锋利的针挑破表皮的纤维，拉出一些纤维，来达到治疗疾病的目的。它主要是治疗痛症，它也是一种民间流传的办法之一。
A needle was prickled into a patient's scar skin. The prickled fibers were then cut with sharp ceramic edges. Dr. Huang said that these fibers are inextricably linked to the nervous system. Compared with the medicated thread moxibustion, acupuncture can in fact produce in-depth stimuli to treat deep-seated diseases. This therapy has been spread among the Zhuang people for hundreds of years.
中医使用针灸的非常悠久，是1985年呢，广西文物考古队在武鸣马头乡这个炎龙坡这个地方啊，出土了西周时期的商周就这个西周古墓啊，这个所发现了是吧？在发现其他文物的同时啊，也发现了2枚形同医用的显示的针。据我所知啊，这2枚针可能是我们国家是吧？目前出土年代比较早的是吧？这个金属用针。
Since then, archaeologists have found more bronze needles in Guangxi. According to their ornamentations and length and the characteristics of other artifacts buried with them, experts concluded that they were ancient acupuncture tools. The experts say that prickly plants in the tropics might have provided them with the original needles. Thereafter, they gradually improved upon the design of these needles. Dr. Huang first located several acupoints on Uncle Jiang's back and then used a long, small hammer to beat on the points. Several glass cups were then put on the points. 10 minutes later, dots of blood gradually appeared on the patient's back. This therapy is called cupping. With a combination of these therapies, the old man's pain was finally relieved.
感觉现在舒服些，好些了，效果有啊。他一搞就针下去啊，上哪的出来。
With a combination of the medicated thread moxibustion with acupuncture and cupping, neuralgia can now be treated successfully.
判断是淤血形成的话，我就用莲花针，把它扣打以后再进行拔罐，把淤血拔出来，它疼痛马上就缓解了。
After 5 to 6 years of attempts, Dr. Huang has come up with an approach that integrates the moxibustion, acupuncture, and cupping to treat neuralgia. He'll keep on improving the Zhuang medical theory. Although he's now very old, he insists on regularly giving lectures to students. He hopes that through his efforts, these valuable traditional therapies will broaden their applications and be carried on.
Thank you.